everybody, and welcome back here on the ChainLog YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin again and again. We are going to talk about the fact that we are not doing nothing, that on technical analysis and on chain analysis side we have the same thing as the last time, but something just a little bit changed under the surface. We got to 28.7 today, and we're going to talk in a minute about this. First things first, I ask you to subscribe, share, like, and put and click the notification bell to stay up to date to the new videos we have, and to sustain this channel as well. Share this video with your friends, and when it comes the bull market, you will have an edge on the other, obviously, because I'm not always correct, but 90% of the time I am. So let's get into what is Bitcoin today. So today, on the technical analysis side, we have to think about the fact that we are at 28.7k here, and what I think the price will do concerns in the majority technical analysis and on-chain analysis. From technical analysis, we have at support the 28 to 27k. We have a lot of support. 28, we have the 30 RSI on the daily. We have these 200s on the daily that are crossing there at 27k, and there is at support even the trend line that supports the price. If you take from the bottom, we have to the minimum, we had the lower low, the higher low that we made on the daily time frame and on the weekly time frame as well. So we are now there at on the brink of collapsing, and I think that something has changed in fact under the surface, but we are going to talk about this in a moment. So still on the technical analysis side, we have still 28k, the 100 on the weekly as well, and we are bouncing now off the middle Bollinger Bands on the weekly right here, and there is a lot of support coming from that 100 on the weekly, 100 EMA to the 50 EMA on the weekly, because in between 28 to 27k, that is the 50 on the weekly, we have a lot of support. The 200 SMA on the weekly time frame, we have the 26 SMA, the middle RSI, the 26 SMA, a lot of things there are right here in between. And then 25.8 this week, with the new week we have today, we are at that point where there is another support. Then we have new supports on the monthly charts. The new supports we had last week, they are still there. Still 28k to 27k, there is a lot of support coming from that trend line, the 12 EMA on the monthly, the middle Bollinger Bands on the monthly, and still 26 EMA middle RSI. So there is a lot of things, 28 to 27.5k, and 27k there is the trend line. Then we have the 26, as we already said, 26 on the monthly, 50 SMA is also the 26, more or less 25.8. The lower Bollinger Bands and the 200 weekly EMA that we don't want to miss. So stay with me to know what I think the price will do, because now we are going into on-chain data and we're crossing that data into the technical analysis side. In fact, we have we are still above the 200 on the weekly, so that's good for the price. I don't think we'll ever get again onto the realized price that is at 19.96k. That means almost 20k. The realized price is the cost basis on chain for the entire market, but what I think is changing under the surface is that the spending behavior coming from the market participants is different this week. If we compare this against the other weeks we had, and in fact the people is now starting watching the super in general, is starting to sell at a loss. In fact, or at least on paper loss, because the super, the spent output profit ratio, is a spending indicator that tells us if people is actually moving their coins on chain compared to the price at their cost basis, that is the one, or at loss if below one, or at profit if above one. When we are in a bull segment, we have these lines getting above the one, then to the one again, and then when it comes to their cost basis, they are re-entering and waiting for a price to getting higher to sell again and to move their coins to sell those at a profit. So the super, we saw that the spending behavior changed, and in fact we are now below one and touching again the one, and we are now testing the resilience of the market. In the case the one will make us resistance, that will change things around a little bit, because that will mean that we are going to shift in the short term into bearish momentum, where we are gonna get new lower lows and higher low and lower highs on the daily chart probably, and for at least 1 week or two we are going to find ourselves below that momentum. If this is just instead momentary bearish trend in the inside a bull trend, in a matter of 1 week it will resolve and we are gonna find new levels, maybe again up to 30k or 31 and 32 and 33 again. So now we are just waiting and seeing, but this change, this shift in the super is actually telling me that we are just shifting into a bearish momentum, and in fact the same goes through for the A super, the adjusted super that removes the 1 hour transactions, that make alone 40% of the noise we have on the transactions on chain. And it is the same if we was the last week. We see that we got above the one only one time, and in the majority of time we were below, touching the one at resistance, getting below again, touching the one as resistance, and we are still at resistance right now at one. So I'm not seeing a bullish momentum yet, and I'm just saying something that we need. It's 1 month that I'm calling it. 28 to 27k is what I think we'll do. Not very much more, but in the case we can take the supports below before getting higher. In fact, we are now discussing the fact that we have a lot of supports below. 25k is the latest one, I guess, and something that will challenge only on a very bearish news, and only getting a lot of stop losses on the way below, because 25k is also the 50 EMA more or less on the monthly 25.2, and it is as well the 24.8 actually is so $500 below, but more or less you get, it's still 25k if you get into Confluence. And there is the 10k or more Bitcoin holders that are called MBACs, more than whales, so, and cost basis on chain. So that is the point where I guess we'll find support. Not only that, but we already discussed that 25k, 25.4, 25.6 into 25.7 is the lower Bollinger Bands on the weekly with the 200 weekly EMA. So I don't think we'll get below 25k. That is the last support we have below 27k. 26k is also a little support in the way below, but that is a monthly support. So I guess we'll have time even to get to 25k before maybe finding support at the end of the month above the 50 SMA and above 26.4k. That is my view and what I can read. In fact, we see that at this point in time, watching the realized profit distribution, we are still having lower and lower profit taken on chain, and so realized profit, and so there isn't really much interest in this price zone yet, even if we are going down. And with these things in mind, we need to get below, taking into account new ranges to get new liquidity, to trap new stop loss, to trap new shorts, and getting higher. That's what I called since 1 month now. Watching the volumetric candle and the H bands realized price distribution and the address band cost basis distributions, there are two kind of volumetric candles. One with the amount of time the Bitcoin are being hodled, and one with the amount of Bitcoin every category has. We see that the supports more or less are the same: 27.5k, 28.5k, and 27k. So 28.5, 27.5, and 27 are the major volumetric candle below what it is right now. And then we have just a little bit of support, 26.5 and 26, but these are really little. And then we have 24k. I'm not taking into account those 24k because as you see 28, 27, and 27.5 on the video on YouTube here, you see that 24k is actually on the volumetric candle the start of the other supports below. I'm not taking into account that because this is alone before, and there isn't really much at 24k watching technical analysis chart. There isn't really much in confluence with that. There is a little bit on the weekly, the 50 SMA, but just that, and it isn't really much. In my opinion, we'll have to see new lower price zone for a lot of time before getting new supports there that we can talk about. So as of right now, we'll take into consideration just what we can make in confluence with these two instruments on chain and technical analysis. So we don't have new rates, probably new hikes on the rate hike for the meetings, because we are waiting for the 20 September. Maybe we'll have Jackson Hole and all that, but we're just waiting for the 20th September because the Fed is actually in vacation. And we have 86.5% probability that even then we're remaining at this kind of level on the rate hikes. So nothing new. This is my view. We'll get there. And two resistance we have just briefly: 31.6k on the daily chart for the 70 RSI overbought. We have the 31.5, so more or less the same. If we are getting into what it is the last high on the weekly chart and the upper Bollinger Band there, and higher we'll have the 70 RSI there at 34.5k more or less. Still probably getting lower, so where there is also on the monthly chart resistance on the daily, on the candles on the monthly chart, and 26 SMA even on the monthly. 32.7 is the resistance there. So for today, this is everything. I hope you enjoyed the content, and still subscribe, share, like everything you can to support the channel. I thank you very much, even though there isn't really much to say today, but stay with me when we'll see something, we'll share with you. Thank you very much. Here is ChainLog Analyst, and enjoy.